Welcome to the championship game for the Youth Baseball League over in Proctor. We have Rutland Town coming in, taking on Proctor. And that's Nick Ogilo, the number one on his back in the mound. And he's going to be the starting pitcher tonight for the Proctor squad. Max Paquette at the plate. And both teams very similar in uniforms. Both wearing blue tops and white stripes. Proctor obviously with the gray bottoms, and then Rutland Town with the dark or black bottoms. And a perfect night for baseball. It's a best 2 out of 3 series. This is game 1. Game 2 will be at Del Bianco Field in Center Rutland. And if there's a game 3, if it's necessary, that will also be at Del Bianco Field, and I'll be there for the remainder of this tournament. Proctor last year making it all the way to the finals as they took on Pittsford. And a Pittsford squad that really gelled late in the season, came together during the playoffs and won the championship. And it's going to be down toward first base. So he picked up, and Tomlinson will step on the bag, and there's the leadoff batter, Paquette, retired. I should say, hard game to figure out. The first time these two teams met at Del Bianco Field, Proctor were able to eke out a win in a very tight ball game. Then I did the second game between these two teams right here at the Proctor Youth Fields, and that was a blowout. Rutland Town in a 26-0 win. So it's really just a coin flip as to, of course, you're talking about young 10, 11-year-old men. So, I mean, it's hard to just which is going to show up tonight, so we'll have to wait and let it unfold. 6 innings is on the docket, and extra innings if we need it. And I should tell you that Kyle Miles is the catcher, as I already mentioned. Ogil is the starting pitcher, and this is Kyle Casarino at the plate. Casarino will also be the starting pitcher tonight for Rutland Town. He has a good eye there as he'll take a ball inside. Jesse Slade is at third base defensively for Proctor. Sean Blanchard getting a start at shortstop. Second baseman is Braden Fox. And I already mentioned Tomlinson. Curtis Tomlinson's over at first. That's going to be fouled back, and now to play a good crowd gathering in for this contest. So again, game 1 of possibly 3 games. In the outfield tonight to start with has Shane Protovansky in center, Zach Gelbert in left, and Joe Parker, the right fielder. And there is a slight breeze blowing, but nothing's going to affect the game, and that'll become the first runner of the ball game via the walk, as Casarino will go down to second base, and Andy Kanash up. Kanash had a tremendous second ball game here versus Proctor, as he had a home run over the right center field fence. I remember that. Yep, that was prior to my staging being built, so he could actually clock me tonight if he hits it out to center field. Protovansky backed way up. Actually, I'm looking at all 3 outfielders backed way up. So Rutland Town, chance here to try to get the lead in the first inning. Good time since we're talking baseball. I also mentioned the post 31 squad off to a 5-win, low-loss start, 5-0 start, and they look solid. And, you know, again, it's a easy thing just to drive down to St. Peter's Field and take in an American Legion baseball game. And a strike called. We'll have a 1-1 count now. There is the 1 out, 1 on in the top of the first. You're watching PEGTV, Channel 15 Sports, Munger Vision to be exact. And if you need to know, you can always, if you don't have time to turn on Channel 15, you can always go to PEGTV.com, click Video on Demand, and free service, watch the games on the internet. And that's going to be a hard shot through the hole at second. Casarino's going to turn the corner and head to third base. And he is going to be waved around, heading home with the game's first run. Kyle Casarino will score. And you can see in the foreground that Kanash ends up at second base. And that's that good speed. Casarino has, so Kanash will drive in a run. Jared Moore up now, the center fielder. Again, it was a hard shot through the hole at second and got in the outfield real quick. And that will catch the outside corner for strike 1. And they want to shift the outfield back toward the third baseline, or the left field line, with the right-handed batter up there. And just, well, I was going to say just off the corner, but after a long pause, the umpire will call it a strike. Again, it is sunny. We've got a blue sky. It was 84 degrees when I left Rutland to come to Proctor. And that's going to be a shot out to Protovansky. He will handle it on a hop, and they're going to send Kanash home, and he's going to come in without the throw coming home, and that'll be 2-0 now. Rutland Town on some solid shots. As Moore ends up at first base, there's the 1 out, and Lucas Heald up now. He'll be the catcher for Rutland Town when they come up in the defensively in the bottom of the first. There is the 10 batter rule, so something to keep in the back of your mind. It's 2-0 Rutland Town. And that's going to be out of play over the fence and out of play. And this gives you plenty of time to put it on your calendar. But July 10th and July 11th is the Proctor Youth All-Star Tournament at these same fields. Now, I call it Gorham Bridge Road, but I'm not really positive that's the name of the road. You can't miss it. If you know where anybody in Proctor, they'll tell you how to get to the youth baseball fields. But July 10th, July 11th, all kinds of good baseball action with the 10, 11, 12-year-olds in the All-Star Tournament. That's a blast to come watch. Good baseball played there. And boy, Ojala with some pop on the ball, but it was high and tight. And Forrest Heel to kind of duck down. Jacob Clark on deck for Rutland Town. And Ojala, that'll go to the backstop, and that'll allow the runner. Now he'll stay up as he goes into second base. As you watch number 12, Jared Moore, go into second. So with a 3-1 count, Ojala to the plate, and that will be ball 4, and that will be a walk, and that will send runners to first and second. Now the first baseman, Jacob Clark. So again, if you're looking for something to do, I already mentioned post 31 American Legion Baseball, but you can also, any Legion baseball team needs support, whether you want to go and watch the Fairhaven squad. And they looked pretty good the other night. Even in the loss to Rutland, you could see that they had the potential to make that tournament. Of course, the Legion tournament this year will be at Castleton State College. There's a strike call. That's the big buzz in Legion ball, is the 8 teams that will go to Castleton State College for the playoffs this year. Beautiful ballpark out there, beautiful ball field to go watch those games. And it's a little bit too far outside. So this inning started off with Max Paquette, the leadoff batter, grounding out to first base. And then a couple of hits and a couple of walks. And it's 2-0 Rutland Town. And with a 3-1 count, this is the 6th batter to come to the plate so far against Ojala. And he'll be off the corner. And I thought it was a 3-1 count, but maybe he called that a strike. It is, okay, so he called it a full count. We're almost like on a time delay between the call and the pitch. Now will be ball 4. So that will load the bases up for Rutland Town, as they're juiced right now for Avery Billings. Brandon Wortman on deck. And this will warrant a visit to the mound. And Proctor doesn't want to get into a big hole here in the first inning. They're down by 2 runs in the makings of a big inning here for Rutland Town. The 1 out and bases loaded, but not the worst case scenario defensively. With the bases loaded, obviously there's a force out at any base. The odds go up, turning a double play. There's more combinations to come up with a double play. And Ojala, a little pep talk from the coach, a little self-assurance, and he will stay in the ball game. So Rutland Town Chargers on every base, and Billings at the plate. And I'm just looking, they brought the infield in a little bit, strike called. Slade at third base, right on the grass where the grass meets the infield. Blanchard in midway on the gravel on the infield. Same thing with Fox. And that's going to allow the runner. No, he's going to hold up. I like the decision, just because why run yourself out of a big inning? There's no guarantee he would have been out. But right now, Ojala's biggest problem is he's got to throw strikes. You got faith in your defense behind you, but they can't field balls. And that will drop right over the inside corner for a strike. Again, that's Kyle Miles behind the plate doing the catching. And again, off the plate. 2-2 the count. He's had some decent velocity. It's just when he's missing, he's stretching the plate to that outside corner. There's already been the 1 visit to the mound, and right there, it's going to be a double play. Did he get him? I'm waiting for the call, and he thinks he got him, and I'm looking at that would be the inning if he did grab him. No, he's going to say safe at first, but a great play reaction-wise by Tomlinson. Billings with a hot shot. And not only did Tomlinson make the grab, but then he had the presence of mind to try to get the runner at first base, chasing him down. So that ball was hit so hard, nobody could score. I mean, they could have tried, but it would have been a tough play to get home. But a big play defensively by Tomlinson. 2 down now, and at the plate is Brandon Wortman, the left fielder. He is the 8th batter to come up here in the first. I'll tell you what, if Proctor gets out of this first inning with just allowing the 2 runs, that could be a big momentum booster for them. Could be a morale booster. That's a good fastball down the middle of the plate. Big swing and a miss by Wortman. So big pitch coming up here for Ojala, trying to leave the bases loaded. Yeah, and he'll miss down the inside. Runner coming home. Going to be scoring. And did they move up? Yeah, they went to second and third. So Jared Moore will come in with the 3rd run. Heald will go to 3rd, and Clark at 2nd. Again, Ojala looks at the target. He'll get the out, and Rutland Town will have that 3-0 lead going into the bottom of the first on Munger Vision. Kyle Casarino finishing his warm-ups for Rutland Town. He's been staked with 3-0 lead, and his defense behind him, well, we'll start with the catcher, Lucas Heald first. That'll be the battery of Casarino and Lucas Heald. The defense behind him will be Jacob Clark at first base. Max Paquette will get the start at second. Andy Kanash at shortstop. Avery Billings is the 3rd baseman. In the outfield, Jared Moore is in center field. That's Jared Moore in center field. Brandon Wortman's the left fielder. In right field, Zach Corse. And that is Sean Blanchard, and he seems to be all right. The ball came in, his helmet fell off, but he'll go down to first base. So again, safety, safety, safety. And those helmets nowadays are very well padded. And I'm not sure if he's wearing the face shield. Sometimes they have the cage out. He's got the cage on it. Now Nick Ojala up. So Proctor looking to respond to those 3 runs scored by Rutland Town. And the pitch caught the plate, but it was a tad bit high, the umpire says. So Casarino, obviously you can see, throws from the right side. That's on the infield and taken over at first base for the first out at the bottom of the first. That was grabbed by the first baseman, Jacob Clark. And now Shane Protovansky batting number 3. The cleanup hitter, Kyle Miles, on deck. As I just sunshine coming in out of the clouds here, I'm just adjusting the iris to that. Tom Leipold, the program director at Channel 15, and that's going to be out of play for a strike. Him and I videotaped and commentated the fights and the boxing matches past week down at the Keefe Gym for Channel 15, but he used Channel 15's equipment, and he came with a brand new high-definition, high-tech camera, and whoa, a lot different than the old camera I got with the hand crank on it and a roll of film with it. Off the fist and foul. As they just couldn't get to it. You could hear that noise it makes when it comes off your fist. Even though they're metal bats nowadays, it's still an unmistakable sound when it's right off the fist and you jam like that. So Protovansky, a couple strikes on him. Casarino gets the sign, gets the target, and the pitch will be high. Blanchard over at first base for Proctor. He led the game off offensively for the Rangers, and he got hit by a pitch. Ojala came up and popped up to first base. And you'll ring him up. Outside corner fastball. First strikeout of the evening for Casarino, and that'll be 2 down now. The catcher, Kyle Miles. And Tomlinson coming out on deck. Again, if you've never watched Casarino, anything, basketball or baseball, he's just a very gifted athlete, both physically but also between the ears. Very sharp young man. Right now he's just starting to get into a rhythm, pitching-wise, trying to get like that. That's a good fastball inside. Miles, who's hit the ball well all year, just got a piece of it to follow it off. And we've seen quite a few of these teams come through the Proctor fields. We've seen Rutland Town. We've seen both teams from Pittsford, the Killington squad, Brandon. So you got a pretty good feel for what's out there for talent. Oh, nice pitch. Again, brought the heat on the inside corner, and that'll be 2 strikes now on Miles. A 1-2 count to be exact. Protovansky in the bullpen warming up for Proctor, and that will be, it did, got him on the butt, and that'll be the second batter hit by a pitch. I'll push Blanchard down to second and put Miles at first. And Tomlinson, the left-handed batter, will come up now. Remember, he made that good play defensively for Proctor in the top half of the first. But yeah, I see Protovansky warming up. Now, I do not know if he's going to come in and pitch the second inning, but he's definitely warming up as if he's going to be in a pitching position. I like that call. He didn't connect on the bunt. The pitch was called a strike, but they had Billings over at third base deep at the corner. Blanchard and Miles both with decent speed on base. Tomlinson's left-handed batter. He can get out of the box quicker. And who would tell you, I think the pitch was a ball, but I don't know if he actually brought the bat back in time. They'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and it'll be a 1-1 count. 2 down, 2 on. Bottom of the first, 3-0 Rutland Town with the lead. Championship series has started. And ooh, on a very close pitch, called a ball. That's a great eye by Tomlinson. Casarino set, and he'll miss outside. Again, this time a lot wider. It was not so much a close call. Jesse Slade on deck for Proctor. So again, at least 2 games coming up from the championship, possibly 3. And just off the corner, I tell you, Tomlinson very disciplined at bat because all those pitches were very close. But he'll draw the walk and now load the bases for Slade. Again, he's the 6th batter to come to the plate here in the first inning, as Proctor looking for their first base hit of the ball game. And that's off from the shin guard, and coming home is Blanchard, and he's going to be safe. So Blanchard will get the jump and make it home, and he'll score Proctor's first run. Miles will move up to third, and Thomason will go to second base. So we could have a barn burner here tonight, as it's 3-1, and they retrieve that ball, one of the foul balls, and give it back to the home base umpire. So Slade with a possible base hit here would, or if he got a base hit, he possibly could tie the game up. And again, good pop on the ball. Came inside just a tad bit too far. Again, Casarino just trying to find his rhythm, find his control. He's hit a couple batters and issued a walk. That's going to be down to first. They'll step on the bag. That's the inning. But we'll have a 3-1 lead for Rutland Town heading into the top of the second on PEGTV Channel 15 Sports on Munger Vision. Pitcher to start the second. It is Shane Protovansky. We watched him warm up in the bullpen. He'll come in to pitch the second inning. He's going to be looking at Zach Corse, the number 9 batter, then top of the order, Max Paquette on deck. So Corse going to hit it back to Protovansky. He'll scoop underhand and get it to Tomlinson. He'll frame it, and there's one down. He'll, for the second inning in a row, retire the leadoff batter. Paquette grounded out to Tomlinson unassisted back in the first. He led the game off. Rutland Town, remember, had the bases loaded with less than 2 out in the first inning. Ended up with 3 runs that inning. And they made some solid contact. And Protovansky will miss outside. Protovansky usually has very good control. If anything, sometimes he's around the plate too much, and hitters can kind of zone in on him. And that'll be fouled back. We'll have a 1-1 count. Again, this is game 1 of possibly 3 games. This is the championship series. Best 2 out. We take 2 out of 3. This game here in Proctor, in case you haven't recognized the settings. Tomorrow morning, I'll be at Del Bianco Field in Center Rutland. I'll be there for that. And boy, nice looking pitch, but it was a little bit inside. A lot of movement on it. And I should mention, Ojala, starting pitcher, has gone into center field. So they just basically flip-flop Protovansky and Ojala. And it'll be outside. Now, I'm just speculating, but I'm assuming they want to save Blanchard for tomorrow's game for Proctor for pitching wise. A series like that, pitching gets real tight on innings, and that'll be a walk, and that'll send Max Paquette down to first base. Kyle Casarino up. He walked and scored a run back in the first. He actually scored the first run of the ball game as Kanash drove him in. There's Rutland Town now in the dicey part of their order, at 2-3-4 spot. That looks to be playable. Parker will make the grab. No, it'll elude him and roll around, and he'll pick it up. There's going to be a play at third base. Paquette will be there. Nice slide. And Casarino will be in at second base. So second and third with the one down. And now Andy Kanash up. He had a sizzling single through the hole at second. He is a left-handed batter, so they'll put the shift on toward the first baseline. And again, the outfielders, I can almost touch them. They backed up so far. And a good pitch by Protovansky at the knee. Call a strike. You know, it's the same for any ball game you play, whether it's a championship or not, is the team who just executes the routine play better. Here's a chance, and it's going to be safe. A good attempt by Protovansky, but the run will score as Paquette comes in with a fourth run. Casarino took third base. And Kanash now stepping on the box, takes some extra swings. The umpire putting his gear back on. It's 4-1. Rutland Town with the lead. Again, to me, that there is no, oh, that could be playable, and no, over the backstop. And tell you what, Protovansky, good hustle off that mound. No play is a short thing, but and I hate to say a routine play, but just to play within yourself and field the ground balls that hit to you and catch the fly balls, and it's just simple things that actually win championships more than the spectacular. A spectacular play might happen once per game. Sometimes you get lucky and see a couple. And Kanash can't believe it, but he will be struck out by Protovansky as that pitch tickled the inside corner. And that is 2 down now. Jared Moore up. He had a single, and he also drove in a run, and he scored a run. So he was pretty productive in that first inning for Rutland Town. And he caught it. Oh, a solid shot up the middle, and Protovansky reached out, makes the grab, and 4-1. Rutland Town leads. We head into the bottom of the second. So Casarino is going to be looking at the 7, 8, 9 spot in your order. Zach Gelbert, Braden Fox, Joe Parker due up. Kyle Casarino had the 1 strikeout in the first inning. And again, he faced 6 batters. So far I'm feeling to be a pretty good ball game. And we have a break in the action as there's a soccer ball on the field. One of the officials. That's Mr. Boucher heading over, and he'll flip the ball over and we'll be good to go now.
Don't get paid extra.
Give more of a break in the action. I just want a quick couple plugs. If you're looking for something to do that doesn't cost any money, Friday Night Live, downtown Rutland. A couple music acts or magicians or some type of entertainment every Friday night, free of charge, downtown Rutland. That's Friday Night Live. Also, on Wednesday night in the Main Street Park where the gazebo is, some kind of concert, whether it's rock or country. But music, again, another free thing to go take in. Oh, a big swing and a miss on a high heater from Casarino, and he'll get his second strikeout of the ball game as Gelbert will go down swinging, and now Fox up. And then Castleton, beautiful Castleton, Vermont, Tuesday evenings, I believe 7 o'clock start time. They have their concerts on the Green Series. And I don't have the information, but I remember Proctor also doing the, I don't know which night of the week it is, but they also do a community concert where you go and watch music acts and sit in their beautiful park. But you know, every game I go to, I hear people just hammering Rutland area. There's a lot to do. And we have time called as there is a, I'm not sure what it is, came on the field. Looks like a little, oh, it's a lacrosse ball. They're practicing lacrosse on the outside of the fence there and got away from them. So we've seen a soccer ball and a lacrosse ball. on the baseball field here. That's got a chance to be caught. It's going to drop in, and that'll be a base hit. Kanash will chase it down. But a good piece of hitting to the opposite field by Fox. Again, now he's got a good set of wheels. What they want to do as far as sending him on a steal. Joe Parker up for the first time. He wears number 9, he bats number 9, and he's positioned to start the game as number 9 out in right field. Top of the order, Blanchard on deck. Now they tried to bunt in the first inning, Proctor did. And again, Castrino with good velocity on his pitches. He's just still looking for that consistent strike zone right now. They let him throw long enough. I know he's going to find it and be okay. Right there, that'll even the count out. 1 ball, 1 strike. So again, if you're not watching Channel 15, which should be your first priority, you can always go to any of the free venues, listen to music and that. It's going to come inside, and it did hit. Okay, I wasn't sure if it hit the bat or hit Joe Parker, but they say it hit Parker. Okay, now we just had this discussion between innings, as that's the 3rd battery hit, and I'm not sure on the rules. Yeah, I guess there is a rule. There was a discussion out in the stands here, is if there's a rule of how many batters you hit, and I guess it's 3. Because a long time ago when I was coaching in Rutland City, we didn't have that rule. That would be Joe Parker at first base, and at second base, Braden Fox. And it is the 3rd batter hit by a pitch, so that will be... Now, I don't think that as far as if they want to pitch Kyle tomorrow, I don't think that's an issue. I know there's a number of innings in a certain time span that you can throw. And he obviously didn't reach that, so they'll flip-flop some positions here, and they will get another pitcher out on the mound. But Proctor down by a 4-1 score with 1 out in the 2nd, but runners at 1st and 2nd and the top of the order up. That's where we'll pick it up after the fade. Changes to talk about, but we'll start right here with the pitcher, Lucas Heald. He's facing his first batter, top of the order, Blanchard. That'll be a wild pitch to the backstop. Fox will go into 3rd base standing up, and Parker will go into 2nd also standing up. So the runners will move up to 2nd and 3rd. 4-1's the score. Rutland Town with the lead, but Proctor threatening right here to get right back into the ball game. Jared Moore has gone into play catcher's position now. Kyle Castrino has gone to first base, and Jacob Clark has gone to center field. So I believe that brings us to all the changes that took place. It does. So Lucas Heald now called upon to pitch. And I'm surprised they didn't send the runner on that. That hit the shin guard of the catcher and rolled, well, a good 12, 13 feet away from him, but they held the runners, and probably a good decision. You don't want to run yourself out of a potential big inning. Nick Ojala on deck behind Blanchard. Blanchard was hit by a pitch in the first inning and scored a run, taking all the way, and they want Heald to show them that he's going to throw strikes tonight. Now, I'll reset that whole defense for you. In between batters here is there were a lot of changes that took place on the pitching change. And this time he's going to send him home, and he's going to be safe. Oh, tell you what, and I'm not hammering anybody, but that really wasn't a good call. And I want to make sure I saw that. He called him out, right? Wow. Well, you watched the tape just like I do. He clearly had daylight on the tag, but they'll throw Fox out at home. On the walk, Blanchard will go to first. And going to third base, was Joe Parker. Now Nick Ojala up. He flied out to the first baseman back in the first inning, and that's lifted and looks to be playable. And it's caught. There's the out. They'll come up empty. We'll stay 4-1. Rutland Town with the lead going into the third inning of play. Protovansky getting set to start his second inning of work. We're in the top of the third, and it's 4-1 Rutland Town. And they're going to have Lucas Heald, Jacob Clark, and Avery Billings coming up. Now, all those defensive changes should not affect the batting order. Everybody should stay in the spots where they started. They just made some different alignment defensively. Good swing, foul ball. Had a good cut at the pitch. So you want to adjust the outfield a little bit deeper in center field. They want him to shade just a tad bit toward the third baseline. Talking about Ojala in center. And Heald will kneel down all the way that pitch came inside. Yeah, so the defense will stay with Miles behind the plate. Tomlinson stays at first, Fox at second, Blanchard at short, and Slade at third. And a strike called. And that's Joe Parker in right field. Nick Ojala is the center fielder, and Chris Gelbert. And that's a change. That's Chris Gelbert in left field. And that's going to be right to Fox, and he'll make the grab. So the coaches had just made adjustments on all their lineup, and but that paid off right there. So for the third inning in a row, Proctor will retire the leadoff batter. Rutland Town scoring 3 runs in the first, 1 in the second, and Jacob Clark up now. He walked his only time up. And that pitch, a little too close for comfort. He'll duck down all the way. Getting tomorrow morning, it's irrelevant to you because we're tape delayed, but I'll be at Del Bianco Field. Whoever wins this game tonight, let's just be hypothetical and say that Rutland Town holds on and wins tonight, they can close out the series, win the championship tomorrow with a win. If they go to a third game, that will also be at Del Bianco Field. And it's Protovansky. We'll get the strike call. Boy, he's been living on an outside corner since he's come in. He's consistently hit that outside corner. And so Jacob Clark with 2 strikes on him. Good job. 2 strikes, got the bat on the ball, fouled off, and again, I know I've mentioned this before, but when this series ends, plenty of baseball still to watch down at St. Peter's Field. American Legion Post 31. And strike 3 looking at the knee. That'll be the second strikeout for Protovansky, 3rd for Proctor pitching, and now Avery Billings up. He lined out to Tomlinson at first on a real laser beam of a shot down at first baseline. Now foul straight back for a strike. Protovansky doing a good job of staying ahead in the count since he's come in. That's to get everything situated now after that foul ball. To Protovansky, he'll scoop it up and he'll have a 1-2-3 inning. Yes, he will. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd, 4-1. Proctor trailing Rutland Town. And to change real quick, they've moved Kyle Castrino to shortstop and took Kanash and put him at first base. And I have it assumed Protovansky should be up. And I'm assuming it is, and it's popped up, and Castrino will make the grab on the infield in front of the second baseman. Shortstop should take charge like that, and he did. So Protovansky, 1 pitch, and he is gone in the 3rd inning. Kyle Miles up. He was hit by a pitch, got stranded at third base. Getting his 2nd time around here. He's got a new pitcher to look at, Lucas Heald. I'm scheduled for 6. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. The big inning so far for Rutland Town was that first when they scored 3 of their 4 runs, and Miles upset with himself, just couldn't hold up on the pitch, and that'll be a strike. I just want to check the rest of the defense real quick too for you for Rutland Town, as they moved a lot of people around. And that's swing and a miss on that curveball, or curveball is curving to the outside. Now Max Paquette's still at second. I mentioned Kanash is at first, Castrino's at short, and Billings at 3rd. And that will be the 4th batter hit by Rutland Town pitching tonight. And Miles will take first base. Tomlinson coming up now. He walked his first time, his only time up, as they want to come out and have a chat. They're going to send Jared Moore out to talk to the pitcher, Lucas Heald, and it was a very brief discussion. And Proctor had an opportunity to cut into that lead in the second inning, as they had runners first, second, and third and couldn't get a run in. And Tomlinson from the left side will show bunt, and again he will miss, and I'm waiting. I think they called that a ball because I wasn't sure if he brought the bat back out of play. So that will bring Billings in on the grass at third base defensively. That pitch will break outside on Heald. They'll throw down to first. Knosh with the catch. I don't believe Miles was off the bag, so he was safe, obviously. So I just listened to the umpire talk. So Heald. That's popped up and just out of the reach of Moore, who made a great effort diving after that and just did miss it. Tomlinson just trying to bunt purely with the bat, not really squaring up to the pitcher where it's easier to deaden the ball down. It's hard to just reach out and leave the bat stationary, not swing it. And it'll be off the corner. Good eye by Tomlinson. Getting a lot of the walks tonight by all the pitchers. It's been close, borderline pitches, so credit to the batters for, I'm assuming, knowing that strike zone so well. Yeah, and that's a good pitch right there. As Heald able to hit the outside corner, but it was the knee high. It was a good location on that pitch. So Heald will look in. He'll get the target, and that's going to be to the backstop, and allow Miles. He should be standing up at second base, and that's where Kyle Miles will end up. So on the wild pitch, the Proctor runner will go down to second base. Jesse Slade on deck. Now Jesse Slade at the plate is Tomlinson. That was ball 4, and he ends up going to first. So first and second with the one out. Protovansky led this inning off with the fly ball out on the infield to Casarino, who made the catch at shortstop. And again, just off the corner. Slade grounded out to first base. His only time up back in the first inning. And Jalbert on deck. Getting a very deliberate pace to the ball game tonight. And Slade watched that in all the ways across the knees and will be called a strike. I know it's awful early to be thinking about it, but soccer season not that far away. It'll be down at Mill River again. And that'll be a chance for Miles to move up to third base, and he'll slide and be safe. They didn't draw the throw. And Tomlinson, there he is at second, coming in on the tail end of that play. So, getting good aggressive, good awareness out there on the base pass as the runners will move up to second and third. Still just the one out. Again, if you're Slade, you want to at least make contact here and make the defense make a play. So the 2-1 count. Heald, who came on in relief of Casarino, will pass right off the fist and fall straight back. So again, Slade with the 2 strikes. Doing a good job of staying alive. Again, there was a lot of action in that first inning by both teams, but it's kind of been a little bit more of a grinded out type of game. And now we'll go to the backstop. They're going to send Miles home, and he is going to, no doubt about it, he is out. That is the second base runner they have thrown out at home base, trying to move up on a wild pitch. I tell you, you got to give that catcher a lot of credit to hustle home, or hustle down and chase that ball. It's Jared Moore flipping out to Lucas Heald. Tomlinson will go to third, and they're going to talk to Heald right now and check on him as he had that little collision with the base runner, but 2 outs now. And that's a couple innings in a row that Proctor unable to get that runner in there. Just good hustle by both the pitcher covering the bag and more the catcher chasing down that ball. And Slade, don't forget, still at the plate, still the batter. Now I've lost track of the count, but Heald appears to be fine after he was checked with by his head coach, and that's going to be a tough play. That's a high chopper and through the hole. The run will score, and Slade's going to keep on going. That ball will roll to the fence. It hit the gap, and Slade will stop at second base. He'll have an RBI double. Cut the lead in half and make it a 4-2 ball game. And now Jelbert up. He's 0 for 1 so far tonight. And give him with 2 outs. That's what they want to do with Slade at second base. I got a feeling that only on a wild pitch or a pass ball, they want to appeal and safe. Yeah. So they feel that he missed the bag, and that's the proper protocol to follow right there to appeal the play, and he was called safe. He had touched the bag going to second. Slade did. A good catch by Moore there on that outside pitch. Now, how big are those runners that were thrown out at home base by Rutland Town? It'd be a tie game right now. Instead, it's 4-2 because of that good defensive plays. And that's going to allow Slade. He'll go down to third, and just for the heck of it, he'll take the slide. So, right now, Heald's almost his own worst enemy right now with those wild pitches. Again, Jelbert looking for a timely hit. Oh, nasty pitch right there. A lot of bend on it, as you can see that from behind, and swinging strike called. Yeah, so a 2-1 count. As we're in the bottom of the third, scheduled for 6, and that is why you have those good cushiony helmets, as that will be the 5th batter hit by Rutland Town pitching. And now when we know the rule, one more hit batter by Heald, and he will have to leave the ball game from the pitching position. Now Braden Fox up, he had a single. He's 1 for 1 tonight, and he'd love to get a base hit right here. I'll tell you, it's fun to watch. But I'll tell you, they got Billings deep at the corner at third. Fox, left-handed batter, a lot of speed. If he dropped the bunt down right now, there's no way they'd get him out. He'll swing through that, and that'll be a strike. So right now, Heald just trying to get out of this little bit of a pickle he's in it. Runners at the corners, first and third. 2 down, 1 run in. 4-2 the score. Rutland Town with the lead in the bottom of the third. And again, you see the catcher doing a nice job of reaching out and keeping that ball in play. Fox will step out as he asks for the count, and then he looks down to the third base coach, who will flash him the signs. And a good eye there, as that pitch was a tad bit high. Like I said, really hard to get a beat on the series, as Proctor winning a nail biter in Rutland Town's home field, and the Rutland Town coming here to Proctor during the regular season and winning 26-0. So just off the outside edge. I tell you, either these batters have just tremendous perception of that strike zone, or they're just getting lucky, one or the other. But that was a pitcher's pitch, and Heald couldn't get the call. That will roll to the backstop, and Slade went a third of the way, stopped. And on the trail end of that, Jelbert will slide into second base and be safe. Boy, and again, you got to think a base hit here would... Oh, I'm sorry, they walked Fox also. So, all right, so base is loaded for Joe Parker, who was hit by a pitch his only time up. So Parker looking for a 2-out base hit here, and that'll be ball 1. And yeah, I gotta believe Proctor's gonna be very cautious about sending their runners home. They've had 2 runners thrown out already on just this situation. Runner at third and wild pitch, and they've gotten them both out. Yeah, and you can hear the dugout from Proctor getting fired up, trying to get their team fired up out there. Bases loaded, 2 down, and great pitch. Proctor just couldn't catch up to that heater right down the middle of the plate. And 1-1 the count. Lucas Heald trying to leave him loaded here in the bottom of the third. Right down the pipe for strike 2. Well, this is where you got to be just real hardcore and protect the plate and be so focused. You want to get a piece of the ball here. With 2 strikes. Heald looking for the strikeout. We'll get it, and that'll end it, and that'll leave the bases loaded. 4-2. Rutland Town leads. We go to the 4th. Yeah, so last time we saw these 2 teams get together on Channel 15, like I said, it was a 26-0 game. This is more I expected that night. But again, you're talking about 10, 11, 12-year-old young men. It's coin flip what you're going to get every night. Brandon Wortman up. He's going to start things off here for Rutland Town. And it's going to come back to Portovansky. Oh, nice fielding. And Tomlinson with the grab. So you can see how Portovansky, very athletic out there. And he's just, again, one of those kids that's real sharp between the ears. Zach Corsup, he grounded out to the pitcher, which was Portovansky. He was back in the 2nd. We're in the top of the 4th, and that'll be a swing and a miss for a strike. Now I'm just scanning the defense real quickly as I'm seeing Slade at 3rd. Still over there at 3rd base, and Blanchard at short. 2nd base is Fox. 1st base is Tomlinson. Miles remains the catcher. Ojala staying right in front of me in center field. And it looks like both Jalberts in the ball game in the outfield. That's pitch outside. No, that's Landon Logan in left field. And that is it for all the defensive changes. Portovansky came on in the 2nd inning to relieve Ojala and done a real good job on the mound. And that one will make it a 2-2 count. Big advantage to get a win here in game number 1. Short series, 3-game series. And he'll swing, and that pitch will get away from Miles. And no, they don't have to tag him, I guess. They didn't chase him down, so that's 2 down now. It's top of the order. Max Paquette up. He is grounded out to 1st, where Tomlinson made the play, and he's walked and scored a run. And he represents the top of the order for Rutland Town. Fox will make the grab, and Portovansky again enjoying good, solid defense behind him. We have a 4-2 game going in the bottom of the 4th. Rutland Town with the lead. Okay, got some new faces out there for Rutland Town. Clay Drinwider has gone in to play 3rd base. Matt Sheridan is in left field, and Evan Biederman is the right fielder. Lucas Heald still on the mound and trying to protect that 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 4th. As Sean Blanchard's going to lead things off. He's the top of the order for Proctor. It's going to be Blanchard, Ojala, and Portovansky due up here in the 4th. And he will just duck away. And that would have been the 3rd batter that Heald would have hit. So Blanchard will avoid that. Yes, I learned a new rule tonight. If you're the same pitcher, it's 3 batters. He's done pitching for the night. Good pitch right there from Heald. He plastered that outside corner. 1-1 the count. And just to fill in the rest of the defense for you, Casarino's at short. Paquette at 2nd. Kanash over at 1st base. And that has been a consistent strike all night, that outside corner for both pitchers. And Jacob Clark is the other outfielder. He's in center field for Rutland Town. Oh, and Blanchard watched that all the way in, and he'll take strike 3 looking to start off the 4th. Now Ojala up. He's popped up to 1st and flied out to left. So he's been able to make contact both times. He's just looking to get one to drop in. And that one just a little bit low for a 1-ball, no strike count. Again, this is, I can't believe how fast the season went by, but we're in the championship series. game number 1 of possibly 3 games. So Heald will miss, and it'll be a 2-0 count. Protovansky on deck, and then Miles, if they get to a 4th batter, he'll be the 4th batter this inning. Proctor's had their opportunities, had runners on in scoring position, but that's going to be to Casarino. He'll pick it up, make the throw to first. There's the out. Nice play, it's short. Nice clean play by Casarino, and he'll have that 6-3 ground out. Protovansky 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out in the first looking, and then popped up to the shortstop his last time up. Heald looking for a 1-2-3 inning, and boy, to get it at the top of the order, that'd be a good job for him. And again, you could actually pitch around through the ballgame and not face these 3 batters again. And that was inside, and that got that noise you get when you hit it off your fist, and Protovansky will follow it off for a strike. Now, don't forget that All-Star tournament coming up here at the Proctor's Fields July 10th and 11th. And that will cause Protovansky to duck down out of the way as that pitch came a little bit inside on him. Never too early start thinking about basketball, college basketball, as we've got the CSJ squad. Starting in November, their home games, and I believe it's November 5th they have the exhibition game against, and I know I got this wrong, but it's a team like the Harlem Globetrotters. I want to say it's the Washington Wizards type thing, but that could be a lot of fun. Last year it was a blast to watch, and that's November 5th, to mark that down on your calendar. A good eye by Protovansky there is looking to get on base with 2 down right now. You see Heald, he's done a good job in relief of Casarino. And that'll be ball 4, and Protovansky will head to first, and yeah, he hustled because the ball got away from the catcher, but he's going to stay at first. And this is only conjecture, I don't know this to be a fact, but I would believe Rutland Town is trying to hold back on using Kanash to pitch tonight and use him for game number 2 tomorrow, just like I'm guessing that Proctor's trying to hold Blanchard out of the ball game and save him for tomorrow night. So Miles up. He was hit by a pitch twice. That's both times he's been up, so he was one of the runners who was at third base, and on a wild pitch was thrown out trying to score at home. And Protovansky, pretty decent speed over at first base. Miles looking to get a chance to hit the ball instead of being hit by the ball. And boy, he'll dance around that, and that'll give Protovansky an easy chance to get to second base. I should mention Tomlinson waits on deck in the order for Proctor. Again, Proctor with another runner in scoring position. They've had a couple tonight. They haven't been able to get all the way through this. Miles going to nub it down to second. Paquette going to bobble it and going to hold on to it. Yeah. He made the throw in the end, but it was too late, and the runner, Protovansky, will go to third. So runners at the corners, and we haven't seen this tonight, but runners at the corner usually try to, if you want, usually send a runner on a steal attempt from first to second. See if you can get the throw down, and if they throw all the way down to second, you release the runner on delayed steal from third, trying to go home. But we've had both teams in situations first and third, and haven't really seen them turn it loose yet. So again, all this taking place with 2 down, and Tomlinson, who tried to bunt his last couple times up early in the count. We'll see what he does here. Swinging away and out of play. I was also informed one of those foul balls took out a windshield tonight. Ooh, yeah, I know that sucks. For Mill River softball, I park out beyond the fence in center field, and Madeline Pritchard hit me with a fly ball just above my windshield. Didn't break my windshield, but put a big nasty pucker in my vehicle and cracked the clear coat, and my paint's peeling off, and oh boy, it sucks. There goes the runner, and the run will score. You see Protovansky in the background scoring, and I tell you, I don't understand why I didn't see that more often. So Miles will get the steal. Protovansky will score. That'll make it a 1-run ball game at 4-3. And I'm just wondering out loud why we didn't see that by either team earlier in the ball game. So a nail biter here in the first meeting of the championship series. We got a 4-3 ball game. Tie and run at second. Thomason at the plate, 2 down. Slade on deck. And a good eye again. Thomason knowing that strike zone very well. Yeah, no, I always send you to PEGTV.com, clicking video on demand so you can watch the ball games, but you can also watch Sports Speed by doing the same thing. If you miss it on channel 15, you can always get there. Swing and a miss on a good heater down the middle. Thomason with a good rip at the ball. Yeah, you can click Sports Speed and watch the Sports Speed shows right there on the internet. Got Bill Rogers coming up in the month of July, the great long distance runner. Oh, good pitch. That's going to end the inning, but Proctor able to get 1 run in. We'll go to the 5th, 4-3, Rutland Town with the lead. At the, like I said, the heart of their order, 2, 3, 4 spots. Castrino, Kanash, Moore, and possibly Heald due up. So a dangerous part of the ball game for Proctor right now. They've been able to get back to within a run, and that is going to be foul. He got around and yanked that foul. Gave it a ride, but got to straighten it out now. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Proctor, gritty play tonight. They've been able to get it down to a 4-3 game, but Rutland Town right where they'd want to be, I would imagine, going into the 5th inning of a 6-inning game, not only with the lead on the road, but like I said, with the 2, 3, 4 batters coming up right now. So Protovansky into the windup and the pitch. There's a strike. Now, a lot different tonight for Protovansky than the last time when he pitched against Rutland Town, when they just peppered the ball all over the place against him. He had a lot more control tonight, a lot more confidence in his ability tonight as play has stopped, and I'm looking for what on the field? Nothing. Okay. That looks to be playable and coming in. No, it's going to drop in for a base hit. Picked up by Gelbert, and he'll get the ball into Fox, and he'll have a runner over at first base now. With Castrino there, gives you a lot of options as far as what you want to do with his speed. Kanash up, he is singled and he is struck out. Again, Rutland Town would love to get some more insurance runs here. And the outfield puts that big shift on over toward the first baseline and very deep. If they get much deeper, yeah, they'll be out of the ballpark. And Tomlinson will get there and touch the base. And they'll get Kanash out for the second time tonight as Castrino will end up at second base. Jared Moore up now. He is singled and he is lined out to the pitcher. That was that hot shot up the middle that Protovansky stabbed out of the air. So Moore has made good contact both times tonight. Got a runner in scoring position and Castrino at second. Blanchard on the backhand will set fire and get the out. That was a big time play. He played back on the ball, and that's why he made the play at first so close, but had enough arm to throw him out. Castrino will end up at third base. You know, actually, that's a correct play by Blanchard because he was at that point caught in between hops where he had to play deep on the backhand. Took his time, though, set up nicely, made a strong throw to first. 2 down, runner at third. Heald up now. He's walked, and he has lined out to second base to Braden Fox. And a swing and a miss. This is big right here. This 1 run could be everything going into the bottom of the 5th. Got a 1-run game right now at 4-3. And Proctor trying to strand that runner over at third base. That's going to come to Protovansky. He's going to set fire and got him. They will strand the runner at third, and Proctor coming up in the bottom of the 5th, down 4-3 to Rutland Town in Game 1 of the championship series. Max Paquette becomes the third pitcher of the evening for Rutland Town as they're trying to hold on to that 4-3 lead. And Jesse Slade up now for Proctor, and he'll duck down out of the way. Is that one a little bit inside on Paquette? As Heald, who was pitching, he's gone over to play first base now. Remember, Castrino started, then Heald came in relief, and now Paquette out there. And that's one thing about a tournament like this, which They would play Friday, Saturday, and possibly Monday if necessary. You've got a lot of games in a very short stretch there. You need arms. You need a lot of pitching. That's going to be the inside the line at third. Slade's going to have at least a single, and he's going to take the turn, and heading into second base with a leadoff double is Jesse Slade. So the tying run down at second base for Proctor. Again, that had all it could do, just stay inside the line, but a big hit for Slade, and that'll bring up Zach Gelbert. He struck out and been hit by a pitch with Braden Fox on deck. And that's actually Logan Landon, and he got hit right in the back of the calf, and he's going to walk it off, and run it down to first. So that'll put runners at first and second now with nobody out. That's the sixth batter hit by a pitch tonight by Rutland Town pitching. Now Fox up. He is singled and walked, so he's been on base both times. We're in the bottom of the fifth, scheduled for 6. We could be playing some extra innings tonight. And boy, what a big advantage it is to get out on top in a 3-game series. Rutland Town had 3 runs back in the first, and he scored 1 in the second. They have been shut out since that point. Proctor with 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. They've just been pecking away all night. And don't forget, they've had 2 runners thrown out at home base trying to move up on pass balls, wild pitches. Fox looks, and that'll be foul down the third baseline or the top of the dugout. Been a real good ball game tonight. I mean, to me, it doesn't have to. I love the Red Sox, but I think baseball at this age level, the Legion ball, the high school ball, I just like baseball. This is a good game tonight. Again, Paquette with a lot of pop on his pitch. I was just got to find that strike zone consistently. Paquette, not a lot of experience at innings-wise. Got a lot of innings in this year. Hasn't had a lot of innings in this year, but tell you get baptism under fire like that right there, getting a big strikeout. So Fox will go down swinging, and I'll bring up. I have Joe Parker's spot, but it can't be Joe Parker. I'm looking to see who that would be, as we're going to have a meeting on the mound and just get everybody on the same page. And I believe that's the other Gelbert. I'm just waiting for him to turn around so he can see his jersey number. Thank you, right on cue. So that is Chris Gelbert. Batting in Parker's spot. For the first time tonight, he'll swing the bat. Top of the order, Blanchard on deck. First and second, 1 down now. That was a big out right there to get. Like I said, there's been good pop on Paquette's pitches. And I'm just trying to see. I did tell you that Heald's gone over to first base defensively. Getting that one just inside. This thing's getting a little spicy here in the bottom of the fifth in a 4-3 ball game. And he'll drop that in there for a strike. Oh, he's starting to kind of like find a rhythm right now. Boy, he's catching and firing. He's just catching and wants to throw the ball. Big swing and a miss. So he's got 2 strikes on Gelbert. Watch, he just comes back to the rubber and he's all set to go. Ooh! And no, it didn't hit him. So they're going to send a runner to third and to second, and that was a crazy play. I had to make sure that the batter didn't get hit because that would have been a dead ball, but he obviously wasn't. And both runners move up to second and third on a very, very close play at second base. It almost appeared that Kanash had came down and tagged the back of Landon. So the tying run now at third base in Gelbert will go down on strikes. And again, big pitches by Paquette. Paquette with back-to-back strikeouts. Trying to leave the runners at second and third. Blanchard up. He's been hit by a pitch, he's walked, and he has struck out. And right now you got to be thinking best moment of the ball game for Proctor, and that'll be a foul ball And I'm just watching everybody. Not, I didn't think it was interference, but I didn't know how that would be interpreted. But it'll be out of play, just a foul ball for a strike. Blanchard trying to jump on that first pitch from Paquette. Slade led the inning off with a double. Landon was hit by a pitch. They moved up on a wild pitch to second and third. 2 strikeouts in a row, and that's where we are. 2 on, 2 down. And that'll be behind. Yeah, that's a good decision not to go. First of all, the guy doing the catching's just been awesome. Right? Jared Moore has been hustling all over the place. And this is no knock on Slade, but he's not the fastest runner down there at third base. And when you're sitting there with a tying run in the bottom of the 5th, you'd hate to see it end up being an out at home base. Just off the corner. Good eye by Blanchard. Paquette has thrown the ball very well here in the 5th. And Blanchard will hold up on that high pitch. Ojala on deck. If Blanchard can extend it to another at-bat here, to another batter. Oh, good pitch. So full count, he says. Here's the pitch of the inning, 3-2. Paquette will be outside, and a nice stop by the catcher, and that's going to load him up. So bases juice for Ojala, who's 0 for 3 tonight. But he's made contact every time at the plate. He's popped up to first, flied out to left, and grounded out to short. So Ken Proctor has been here before. They've had base runners in scoring position tonight and haven't been able to bring them home, and that'll be ball 1. Ojala almost looked like he wasn't set for the pitch, but it will be inside. And it is a pretty healthy clip between pitches here. The pace that Paquette is throwing, like I said, he's anxious to throw. That's going to be back to Paquette going to first, and they'll hold on to that 1-run lead as he's able to pitch out of a jam, and we'll go to the 6th, 4-3, Rutland Town with the lead. He's done a good job in relief of Ojala tonight. He came in that second inning. He's only given up the 1 run. Blanchard, yeah, that's unofficially, I'm going to give him a base hit. That was going to be played on the grass in the outfield, and he'll settle in at first base. So a run here would be huge for Rutland Town. That was Jacob Clark who will get that single. Now Avery Billings up, and then Brandon Wortman. Say Protobansky gave up the 1 run in the second inning. Other than that, he has shut down Rutland Town. And that was a strike, and the runner will, there he is, will go into second base standing up. So you got a runner in scoring position with nobody out here for Rutland Town. Yeah, if you go back and look at the book for Proctor, they had tremendous scoring potentials in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning and just couldn't get the job done. Now Billings has lined out to first, grounded out to the pitcher, and is at the plate. Well, actually, that's Drinwater. That'll be foul. So it's Drinwater with his first at-bat hitting in Billings' spot. And I have Wortman as being on deck, and I believe it will be Wortman on deck. That's going to be through the hole at short, and they're going to send him. Yep, they're winding him around and coming home. Got it. And look at this, Drinwater going to third base, and he'll be tagged out. He did the job, though. He drove the run in. And that gives him a little bit of a pad in the lead now at 5-3. So Drinwater will pick up the base hit, the RBI, and will be out at third base. Brandon Wortman up now. But the base is clean, but again, that's a big run in the bottom of the 5th. And actually, that is not Brandon Wortman, that's Matt Sheridan. So Sheridan going to bat now for the first time. And that's going to be down to Braden Fox. He'll go to first. There's the out. So 2 outs now on that 4-3 ground out. And I have it as course up, but I'll have to wait and see. No, it'll be Biederman. So Biederman will get a chance to bat here. In the top of the 6th, scheduled for 6. And it's been a good, tense, gritty type of playoff game. The way it should be. High heater, swung on and missed, strike 1. So Protovansky looking to end the inning here. Strike 2. That'll be a foul ball, back for a strike. But again, I mean, if you look at the trouble Proctor's had at driving in that potential tying run when they trailed by only 1, they're going to be down by 2. And that's up, and caught by Protovansky. We're going to the bottom of the 6th, and Rutland Town looking to get up in the series 1-0. They lead 5-3 now. So the drama set here for the bottom of the 6th. Rutland Town bringing in Andy Kanash, looking to close it out. He had that dominant performance here during the regular season versus Proctor. He last pitched Wednesday night in the playoffs and was a winner in that night. And you know, everybody's played a huge part in the ballgame. I think the pivotal moment for me was Paquette coming in with limited experience pitching-wise in a big moment in the ballgame. Had the bases loaded, got 2 key strikeouts, and didn't allow the tying run or any runs to score. That got them that extra inning to get Kanash here in the 6th. For Proctor, you got Protovansky, Miles, and Tomlinson due up, so you've got your veteran core of players coming up in that 2-3-4 spot, or that 3-4-5 spot. And these are players that, you know, they've been here. This is their last year in the age bracket, and second time they've been in the championship series. So Protovansky up now to face Kanash. This is pretty much power on power right here. And that's going to be contact to shoot. Oh, bobbled, and that's going to allow Protovansky to reach on a tough hop over to third base. Protovansky, again, biggest key is you want to make contact. Where is Protovansky? There he is over at first base. Everybody wearing blue tonight. That's hard in the black and white viewfinder. Now Miles up as he waits the pitch from Kanash. He'll come to set. It's going to pitch from the stretch. That'll be a ball. It's going to be a wild pitch, and Protovansky will put himself down at second base with nobody out. Like I said, it's been a real grinded out type of game tonight. So Protovansky with pretty decent speed down there at second base. They have shaded Miles over toward the left field line, and that'll be inside. Miles will dance back. There have been 6 batters hit by different Rutland Town pitchers tonight. Nothing vicious at all, just control issues. And if I was a coach for Proctor, I'd certainly want Miles to be able to swing the bat. I'd rather have him not be on base for being hit by a pitch. So it's all come down to this. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Proctor down by 2 runs now. That was a big run that Rutland Town picked up in the top of the 6th. And Kanash, like I said, coming in like Mariano Rivera or Jonathan Papelbon here, trying to close it out. And that'll be allowing Protovansky to go down to third base. And just for good measures, he put a good slide on there. So third base with nobody out now. You know, there's a lot of pitchers you talk to that just really do better in a starting role or better in a relieving role. You never really know what their mindset is. And that's a strike, and the runner will hold at third base. As that ball really never did get that far away from Jared Moore back there. Oh, and you got to start thinking back to those 2 runners thrown out trying to score at home for Proctor. Big plays defensively by Rutland Town. Did he hold up? I'm looking to see if they appeal it. Oh, the home base umpire made the call. They never went to the field umpire. Now they're going to ask the umpire. And yeah, they're going to go with the call at home. That could have gone either way. That was very close. Tomlinson up and then Slade on deck. So Tomlinson will take strike 1, and they are this time going to allow there's the play we were looking for earlier, and Casarino came over from shortstop. See, they went first and third, and they went to steal second. The shortstop, Casarino, cut the throw-offs just in case Protovansky had tried to release and go home. So the tying run at second base, and Curtis Tomlinson up. And yeah, swinging away. And coming home is Protabansky, and he'll score on the wild pitch. That time they just had a problem locating the ball, Moore did. And Miles goes down to third base, so now the tying run in a 5-4 game at third base with nobody out. Tomlinson, collecting himself, stood off to the side, and again, he is a veteran player, Tomlinson is. And Kanash, the umpire, has got his gear on. He didn't have his face mask on. And oh, it's been an excellent ball game tonight. That big inning was a 3-run first for Rutland Town. And that was kind of crazy. He swung, strike 3. The ball was dropped. The bat went kind of flying a little bit, and that's a big out. Again, with a runner at third, you just want to put the ball in the play and force that defense to make a play. So 5-4, 1 down, runner at third. Slade up now. He had a double his last time up. Of course, he wasn't facing Kanash. So Kanash trying to break Proctor's hearts, and wow. Again, they say he held up on that. Whoa. That's pretty much home cooking right there. I just don't understand that, not appealing that. Strike on the corner, 1-1 to count. Kanash now a little more intense out there on the mound. Yeah, he's catching him firing now. He wasn't mentally in focus at the start of this inning, but he kind of got brought into the game now, brought down to reality. Now they've got the tying run at third, and 1 run's already in. He's catching him firing like we're used to seeing him throw now. So Slade with a 1-2 count. 1 down. This would be a big out right here. Got him swinging. 2 down now on back-to-back strikeouts. And again, I think that would, if that ends 5-4 and a runner at third, you can go back to 4 innings that Proctor had a runner at third base with less than 2 outs and failed to bring them in. And obviously, in a 1-run game, that would be the end. That would be the bottom line of the ball game. Is Coach Kanash coming out to talk to his catcher, and his pitcher is Logan Landon on now. So again, this has been just a well-played, well-coached ball game. They still have at least 1 more game to go, but the winner here would be in position to close out the championship series tomorrow at Del Bianco Field. So Landon probably going to see a lot of heat right here. Yeah, overpowered him with that fastball, strike 1. Protabansky scoring. Miles has been sitting down at third, but 2 down now as Kanash. Strike 2 as he'll tattoo the plate, and that'll bring the Rutland Town crowd into a cheer here as they look to seal it out and get up 1-0. And the pitch coming in from Kanash. Strike 3, and he'll strand the tying run over at third base, and Rutland Town will get the 5-4 win, much to the relief of Dr. Kanash over there. But boy, Proctor's going to go home and wonder about this. Again, they had 2 runners thrown out trying to score from third base on wild pitches. And they also had stranded Miles over at third base with less than 2 down. So congratulations to Rutland Town. A great effort by Proctor. Well done by both teams. I'll have game number 2 for you on Munger Vision on PEGTV at a later date. But 5-4, Rutland Town with the win in game 1 of the championship series.